Could we get an update on Rogers first?
It's the same one I had the other day. She's day to day.
Okay. What about how many of those turnovers down the stretch do you think maybe were a little bit unforced or just being a rush? It looked like
Both. They all were in the last 3 minutes. They were unforced, rushed. We've got to manage the game better at that point. Just didn't connect on some fast break opportunities. We also have to know when to pull it out and make them guard us. We had done a good job of taking the lead, and we were running some stuff that they had struggled in that fourth quarter to defend, and then we just turned it over and then came down and didn't get stops. They went on a 10-0 run to finish the game.
What do you make of Aisha Kulmali's performance tonight?
I thought she was really good. I think, we just kept saying to her in the very beginning, like, it's going to open up. Just keep cutting, keep being patient. It's going to open up. Vanderbilt did a really good job of trying to pack the paint, and I thought she stayed active and just kept trying to find her spot. And she did a good job of coming to the basketball and catching it in that nail. And she's really dangerous when she gets at that elbow spot.
Felt like y'all came out of this halftime with a different kind of energy. Third quarter looked really good. What was the message at that point?
Well, I think we had just gotten pretty comfortable with how they were playing us right after the first and second quarter. And so at that point, we knew what to expect, and we just came out and had a different type of lock-in and aggressiveness just because you had some time to adjust to it.
they seemingly had very few open shots in the second half, where they were getting them in the first half. Was that your defense just, you feel, stepped up a little bit, or did you change it?
We didn't change anything. We just one of the things we did say at halftime was we can't. They had 4 threes. Like, we can't keep giving them threes. It's what they do well. We've got to ID shooters, know where they are, and not give them easy looks.
What about it? Did seem like AC was able to make shots, whatever the others had a rough time getting open looks.
Say it again.
AC was able to look like to get open shots or make them in traffic. Why weren't the other players didn't seem to be able to get any kind of groove today?
Well, I just think Vandy did a good job of making it tough for us. Every time we caught it, especially inside, there were hands, there were people. They came and crowded at our feet and, and doubled us and just made it difficult. So we ended up passing it out or, taking a shot that didn't go in.
I don't like to make excuses, whatever, but you've gone through this where you just finally seemingly have your pieces in place the last, 8 to 12 quarters. How tough is that when you lose your leading scorer in conference play and really leading three-point shooter, what have you?
Yeah, no, it's challenging. We knew we were going to have our hands full. Number one, Vanderbilt's a really good team. And also, you lose your starting point guard that's played every single game. She's our leading scorer. She's our best three-point shooter. So we knew it was going to be challenging. It was going to take a team effort to make up for all the things that she does. With that being said, I thought we put ourselves in a position to do that, right? So, yes, not having her on the floor definitely makes us look a lot different. With that being said, we were up 4, with 3 minutes left and didn't close it out. So we've got to be able to do that.
And I know it's fresh right now, but just what do you want to see fixed before Monday comes?
We got to take care of the basketball. I thought we just turned it over too many times. That was one of our points of emphasis coming into today. Vandy presses, they're aggressive. We got really elite guards, defensively especially, and we turned it over too many times. So we can't do that against LSU. We've got to box out. Last possession of the game, they get an offensive rebound, one we need, that's critical. And so we know LSU is going to come in, and their best shot is their second shot and their third shot and their fourth shot. And so we've got to really focus on being more intentional about boxing out and taking care of the basketball.
What about moving forward? Lauren and Janae is going to be so important.
Janiyah,
excuse me, against LSU. What about that matchup? Looking at the last time moving forward this time.
Yeah, I think they'll be prepared. They'll be ready to go. This will be our second time playing them. We're very familiar with them, and so it's going to be. They both have hard matches. Morrow is super talented, and obviously we know who Angel Reese is and what she brings to the table and the value she has for her team.
How do you try and slow them down? Last 3 games, they've put up big offensive numbers.
We've got to force them into a half-court game, so we've got to sprint back and make their 5 play against our 5 and not give them easy points in transition. Part of that for us means taking care of the basketball, getting good possessions, and not having live ball turnovers that lead to transition points for them. They really are elite in transition. And they've got 5 players on the floor who average double figures, right? So we've got to make sure that we do a great job individually of knowing our matchup, knowing personnel, knowing what things they do well, and trying to make them not get to their plan A.
Can you also just touch on the level of toughness? It feels like so hard to show tonight.
Yeah, I mean, she is one of our toughest players. She's obviously hurting. You know, her shoulder's banged up. She goes down a couple times, goes back in. She's someone who is gonna, as long as she can fight, she's gonna fight and do whatever she can.
What was AC's injury or whatever? Just
Cramps. She just had cramps. Yeah.
that was it.
All right, thank y'all.
Thank you.